Level 80 in the middle of nowhere. One of the Crystarium guards is particularly relieved to have found you. Zilly, have you seen Renee? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go get her. Hey. Head. There you are. Truth is, I need your help. Now, hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. After you defeated him at Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light somewhere far to the south. In the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood. Can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. Whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Is that where her and Thancred were looking at the end of the game? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Urianger, and I have a few theories that we plan to test out once we find whatever's causing this. Three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there just in case. Will you come with us? Couldn't have it any other way. Perhaps we should let sleeping dogs lie. Ever let you skip that stuff? They wanted to, I suppose. Thank you, Zilly. This means a lot. First of all, let's head to the Derrick in Amarang. The Thancred and Urianger should have everything ready by now. Oh. Yeah, at the end of Shadowbringers, they were looking at that empty space. Hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here. Doubt they posed any sort of challenge to her. Would that I could say the same with confidence about whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Renee sensed turns out to be nothing of consequence, the empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that could survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-blasted wasteland poseth as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation, though for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Renee's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation. There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Sky Slipper ready, Thancred? Ready to take us wherever we need to go. Aye, back again, too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. No Sid this time. Though the light hath been expunged from Norvrant, the ambient ether of the empty is still corrupted, dangerously so, in fact. The flood of light devastated everything in its wake, the soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. Due to this imbalance, that the empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. So we're taking every possible precaution. Between the etherometers I've packed and Renee's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that and we risk becoming sin eaters. We still don't know how Chocobos and Amaro will fare in the empty. We opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order. Quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. I'm quite eager to see what we bring back from the empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Mordsuk at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word. Well then, shall we? Part for the empty, yes. A name like the empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery, but this is downright depressing. Look on the land swallowed by the flood with mine own eyes. 'Tis a chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of this world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the warriors of darkness in Menphilia. Rene, are you sure we're heading in the right direction? Yes, I'm certain, Thancred. There's no telling how far away it is, though. Nothing for it but to keep going. Then you two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've got a few malms ahead of us. Gawa the empty. Take the burn. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it sleeping? Orvrant the empty. What the hell is that thing? No, it's waking up. I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden? No, I don't think so. Instead of being filled with light, it is light. First Sin Eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mystery surrounding the flood of light to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. A single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the flood, the very foe Menphilia vanquished a century ago. Gave everything she had and won. This abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is oft said that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Rene, knowest thou of what I speak? Power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature, for what was once shattered may be forged anew. That's all well and good, but don't you think we should give it a name first? Name it, we just have to kill it. Eden. Utopia and Fae. Most auspicious title. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up camp. I even brought a couple of tents on the off chance, but pitching the damn things is something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? Never realized that putting tents up could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. Thancred should be back from scouting the area soon. Once he's here, we can plan our next move. Middle of nowhere, complete. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. Can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Gul Gul and Mord Suk or Yal Yal and Yulmore. Level 80, deploy the core. Rene waits anxiously for Thancred to return from surveying the vicinity. Wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Ah, there he is. Well, that was rather uneventful, not that I'm complaining. Find anything? No, thankfully there's naught but barren plains in every direction, apart from Eden, obviously. I tried approaching it, and the brute didn't even seem to notice me. I thought it best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew. Back now before it's fully awake. Meaning what exactly? When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of ether. Of course, that meant that all of the plants, animals, and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled to dust in the years since. The ether is still here, lying dormant. Eden is the one that caused it. Maybe it can get it flowing again. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the empty. Now, hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible, and how do you expect to control that kind of power? Rene's aspirations may not be as preposterous as those surmise. I believe Menphilia halted the Flood of Light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. In so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. I, as Menphilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Rene doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden. Such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou? I imagine this is easier said than done. It would put Rene's life at risk. Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try. Very well, Rene, you made up your mind, so how should we go about this? I have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core. That giant Talos had a core too, like a beating heart. It controlled the flow of ether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we could use it to restore the etheric balance. Theory is certainly sound. By employing Ethernet shards as beacons, perhaps we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in so doing, secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must needs first have Rene study the entity's interior and chart us a suitable course. We have reached our destination. I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden and mayhap exert a measure of control over it. You can really do that, Urianger? All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning etherology. Although I am certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology. Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around in its innards, for want of a better term. In all seriousness, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you'd best lead the way. True that she's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on her any more than we have to. Guess I haven't forgotten what happened when she absorbed too much light, but as Alizé said, making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. I wish I could put down wardens myself, but the simple fact is I can't, and there's no point pretending I can. That's why I'm asking Zilly. Perhaps I could. You already have a job to do, remember? The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand and guide us to the core. Not only that, you have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. You sure you want to go through with this? This is what I do best. For lack of any better plans, this one will have to do. Won't let you down. But we all remain here. Rene and I shall do our utmost to guide these along the ethereal stream. If thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear they may be somewhat less reliable than those which thou art accustomed. Accepted. I might have it too. Gate Resurrection, now accessible. Gate Resurrection, level 80. Rene's discovery of a vast concentration of light prompts an expedition into the barren wastelands left in the wake of the flood known as the Empty. There you encounter the immense and enigmatic Eden, the very first Sin Eater and the progenitor of destruction that all but consumed the world. Rather than seeking to end this threat once and for all, Rene hopes to use its limitless power to restore the ethereal balance of the Empty and breathe life into the planet. However, she must first gain control of Eden's core, which is likely to have countermeasures for repelling intruder. Okay. Right. See how this goes. First time doing it. Blind. Have to pay attention, that's all. Orvant, Eden's Gate, Resurrection. Be careful, huge amounts of ether are rushing to the core. Wait, what's that? Keeper of Knowledge, Eden Prime. Can't see past behind the... That was a raid wide. I think I got defensive off. Right. So far, so good. Okay, everybody's getting behind it. Okay. avoid stuff. Ooh, that hit me. Didn't get behind it. Okay, well, that didn't go so well. Thought I just couldn't get behind it quick enough. It's alright, it's my first time. Okay. I think I was doing well overall. Is there a specific one we're supposed to attack? Okay, well that looks cool. Raid wide. That hurt. So don't have like great gears. Bad, but our time frame. Missed it this time. Yay. Fun. I died the once, but okay. I could have avoided that when it. A bunch of stuff. Okay, okay, 3 more. Okay, so these aren't wearable. They're your tradable items. Okay. I mean, they're called like armor, and thought they might have been. Seems that Thancred's prediction about there being some sort of guardian was right. Thankfully, it was nothing that you couldn't handle. And I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Ethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Heed to Eden's core, yeah. Once Urianger has activated the device, it's my turn. Deploy the core. I said, always go crit. Not always, but mostly always go. Time hath come, right, Rene? I'm gonna say Rhine. Watch over me, Menphilia. This supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now, not when I'm so close. Briange! I am unharmed, but what of Rene? No, you listen to me. Rene, be careful. Alive. Happen. Level 80, one fell swoop. Rene appears to have recovered from her battle of wills with Eden. Like trapped inside of it, aren't we? It worked. I'm in control now, I think. So she's flying it then. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Oh, it's like Sid and Omega. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now, thou art... Rene, what's going on? Above us, something's coming this way. An enemy. Another enemy? How dost thou, could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but no, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside, too, lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guest, eh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied the place up. Capes are a poor substitute for a viable stratagem. In that case, I suggest that you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. Dilly can welcome our airborne adversary. Rene, find out if Eden has any defenses we can make use of, preferably ones that don't recognize us as the enemy. Not sure about that, but I can use the ether currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. All right, everyone, we've got work to do. Bat cave. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. Gate descent now accessible. Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Okay, what was the last one? Was like Earth or something like that. Gate descent. Oh, resurrection. Okay. Oh yeah, that's when we brought it back to life, and now it's gonna be coming down. Level 80, Eden's Gate Descent. Having finally overcome Eden in a battle of wills, Rene is now in control of the enormous Sin Eater, which now drifts high above the empty. Your celebrations are short-lived, however, as Rene detects the presence of unknown enemies making their way towards Eden's core. While Thancred and Urianger rush to intercept a swarm of foes approaching from inside, You head to the upper reaches to face the threat from above. Okay, well, first one. Oh. Rant, Eden's Gate, Descent. Antithesis Manifest, Void Walker. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Stuck. Wouldn't let me move anymore. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with the mechanic. No idea what that's supposed to be. Not doing a whole lot of damage to it. What I'm supposed to be doing. I'm gonna call it Prog. Ananies. Doing my very best. Go with these. Yeah, okay, that killed me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. No idea what the mechanic for that is. Almost over. If I can just survive a little longer, we'll figure out how to play it later. Can do. One death, not too bad. I had no idea what that ticking clock mechanic was. I got away from everybody, but... okay with it. Probably had left last time. Know what any of this stuff looks like, so be good glam if we turn it in. Silly, thank goodness you're unharmed. Came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch and quite unlike anything I've ever seen in the first. No, I won't let you. Dogs. Damn the light. Damn you all. Who are you? What do you want? Why am I here? What is happening? She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether. She didn't seem too pleased with Rene taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. It's plain she is not a Sin Eater, not even in part as Valtteri was. Yet this knowledge does little to assuage my fears, for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling cooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. Keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what will happen when she does, but I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm at the very least. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp. Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden. Although I had my hands full trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle, that power. I've never seen anything like it. What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which Voidsent may enter. But pray tell, Rene, didst thou make any other observations? Couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmett Selk. Though I think it unlikely she is an Ascian, she may yet be a thrall to Zodiark. Maybe we'll be able to find out more when she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. Seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning, and that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery. One fell swoop. Or any drop to drink. Level 80. Rene's newly formed bond with Eden's core has led to a surprising discovery. Feel a lot more confident in my ability to control Eden now. Of course, this is only the beginning. We shall accompany thee wheresoever this path may lead, but pray tell, what manner of discovery hast thou made? I understand how Eden's power works. Therefore, the true nature of the flood of light. Yes, it affected the balance of all the ether in the empty, shifting it so far towards the umbral that it stopped flowing altogether. Power to tip the scales. To tip them back again. That's what Eden does. It controls the balance of ether over a wide area, forcing it from one alignment to the other. Left alone, it still poses a threat, but if I can harness its power, I think I could use it to breathe life back into the empty. Trouble is, I haven't the foggiest idea where to start. If I go about this the wrong way, I'll do more harm than good. Thou needst not bear this burden alone, Renee, nor should thou. It is no simple matter of awakening that which lies dormant. All things in nature are inextricably linked. The elements maintain a fragile harmony without which life cannot prosper. But what should we do? Solution hath begun to take shape in my mind, though it will require further discussion. For the time being, let us return to camp. It would be remiss of us not to involve Thancred. Camp. Morvant, the empty. My friends, I believe I have struck upon a method by which we may see this world restored. Brianjay, before you go any further, allow me to make a potentially very long story slightly shorter. The plan is to control Eden and realign the ether of the empty, right? In essence, yes. However, unleashing elemental energies haphazardly will not suffice. In addition, the empty is unfathomably vast. Were we only able to effect change over one small region at a time, it would take many lifetimes to complete even a fraction of our task. That our energies would be better spent revitalizing each element in order that we might set in motion a more widespread transformation. One at a time. I hate to say this, but I don't think Eden will be able to draw out a single element without affecting the others. For that very reason, we shall select a location in which the ambient ether we wish to restore is at its most potent. Even in a dormant state, certain elements will be more prevalent, therefore more easily manipulated. And we rebalance the ether and return it to the land, whereupon it shall be borne on ethereal currents to the farthest reaches of the empty. What's to prevent that element from breaking free of Eden's hold and causing a disaster of some sort? Must needs be contained. The question is how. Indulge me a moment if thou wouldst. Pray imagine a corporeal manifestation of each of the individual elements. What dost thou see in thy mind's eye? Surely not. Googles. Primals. Mayhap thou art afeared to utter the fateful word, for even to speak the name primal is to invite misfortune. Though invite it we must, as the ether is drawn forth and realigned by Eden, we shall perform a summoning as Master Louis Soir once did on the fields of Carteneau. Did that kill him? Happened to Papalymo too. As one who hath laid low countless primals, thy memories will shape the ether into a deiform entity, which must subsequently be dispersed in the traditional fashion. So defeat it, in other words, but is that even possible? I break my fast on primal. Either that or being torn to shreds. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I can. Lest thou forget, 'twill be no more than an approximation of a foe thou hast previously bested. Have every confidence in thine abilities. As do I, though it might help to have some idea of what you will be up against. Have you decided which element to tackle first? I propose water, the source of all life. As for the location, an area to the west of Norvrant was once home to the world's deepest ocean. Alas, the flood of light reduced it to a yawning chasm. Water, yes, that seems like a good choice. I'll see if Eden can take us where we need to go. I shall prepare for the summoning. So we're going to fight like all the old primals? I guess they'll be different, though. Thancred, wouldst thou keep watch over our enigmatic antagonist? She may have vital information to impart. In the event that she becometh agitated, thou mayest have need to restrain her. Someone's got to do it, I suppose. I'll be praying for your success while I wait here twiddling my thumbs. We're gonna fight, what, Leviathan? Still, I must say I don't envy you being caught up in yet another one of Urianger's madcap schemes. Though come to think of it, if the creature you must fight is born from your own memories and imagination, why don't you try thinking of something a bit tamer than the primals you fought in the past? Perhaps that's not how it works. Anyway, best of luck. With Renee and the Eden's Core. Eden's Core, yes. Eden seems to be responding well to my instructions, so we should reach our destination in no time at all. Alright, this is the place. I'll see if I can draw out the water aspect at Ether. Rest is up to you. We are the villains, so I guess we're summoning primals now. Memories of Leviathan come flooding back. Okay, it is Leviathan and flooding. Haha. Eden's Gate, Inundation, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Eden's Gate, Inundation, level 80. Renee is now able to concentrate on the task of turning Eden's immense power to the task of balancing the ethereal alignment of the empties. The delicate task must be they're saying task a lot. The delicate task must be approached one element at a time, and Urianger suggests that the first should be water, essential to all life. However, for the ether to be restored, it must first be given shape through a process akin to summoning. You call upon your memories of the dread Leviathan, the raging fury of the deluge begins to take form. I think we were going to switch to summon. Get better equipped. Gate Inundation. Faulty. Leviathan in ages. Grant, Eden's Gate, Inundation. I'm sure it's going to be different anyways, right? Can't possibly be the fight. Otherwise, they just have us do the old fight. Inheritor of the World, Leviathan. Oh, it's got two heads. Definitely different from the previous fight. Bolts. Those. Wait. Eden's power. Go and addle at him, why not? Okay, nobody's moving. Guess it's just grade wide. Yes. Strange new mechanics. Similar to old ones, I guess. Okay, what do we do now? Barry's coming. Take on the boat. It does. We get ahead of ourselves. Oh, how'd I fall off? I was doing fine. I didn't see the thing on the side of the. I mean, I know what pushed me off without even having to see it. Like, I did it earlier. I didn't see it this time. I wasn't paying any attention to it. Yeah, I mean, that's why I didn't say, well, I hadn't died yet. I don't want to jinx myself. Like, this one's way easier. I know all the mechanics. So you don't pay attention to them. Yeah, we're just calling this Prague. Right. Got through it. Almost got through it without dying. We'll have one more. That was incredible. Is that what a primal looks like? Oh, not quite. Oh, not quite the same then, but why is that? Different planet. Leviathan of the Source was summoned by the Sahagin, to whom he was no less than a god. Without their faith, the deiform entity that we brought into existence differed on a fundamental level, though it was no less formidable. Manifestation relied upon Zilly's experiences of Leviathan and may have been influenced by recollections of other water-aspected beings, leading to further discrepancies. Close but no cigar. Memories brought to life. But I still can't tell if our plan actually worked. Just have to wait and see, I guess. How goes it? Finish slaying your primal or whatever it is. I suggest you get back here on the double. There's something you ought to see. Lady in armor, Alexander. What could that be? Control time. Or Sophia. Evidently, our only recourse is to return to our base of operations forthwith. Level 80, nor any drop to drink. Feet. Silly, look. Water. Either right. By the 12's good grace, 'tis a marvel to behold. Never thought that a whole lake would suddenly appear like this. We're just getting started. I only hope the burden is not too much for you. Got this. Level 80, super seismic. Oh, is it going to be Titan? Rene and Urianger are considering the next step in the plan to reclaim the empty. Love them some Titan. I think this proves that the water aspected ether is no longer lying dormant. So which element should we realign next, Urianger? I propose Earth. Should we succeed in returning the soil's life-giving energy, the empty shall become capable of supporting the growth of flora. Imagine that, forest in the empty. But before we begin, I'd like to know how that girl is doing. Still sound asleep. She didn't so much as stir even when I took her helmet off. I thought it might be getting a bit stuffy in there, and I was curious to know what sort of person we're dealing with. Seems surprisingly normal, not at all like your usual void scent. I'd say she's around the same age as you, Rene, perhaps a little older. Well, whoever she is, we should let her rest while we concentrate on the task at hand. Much as I'd love to go with you, I'd best stay here in case she wakes up and is feeling less than cooperative. And while I wait here wishing I had something to read, my thoughts will be with you as you fly off to face the next opponent. Must be a strange feeling to bring something into existence through your own willpower, only to slay it immediately after. I must feel sorry for the poor things. All the same, I wish you luck. If all goes well, he won't be waiting for long. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can see the results. Got one more, and then this first section. Now, before we embark on our journey, there is one question I feel I should ask. Where are we going? It suggests a certain region that lieth east of Norvramp, which was once home to a great the Great Mount Atlas. For the Earth-expected primal we wish to invoke, what could be more fitting choice than Titan? I don't think I've heard of that one. What's it like? Like a big chicken nugget. Is worshipped by the kobolds, the landslides, the landslides. Seems like you had a rather traumatic experience. If our last battle was anything to go by, this one will be different from the Titan that Zilly remembers, yes? Aye, it would be wise to consider the two as entirely separate beings. As such, thou must needs conceive new stratagems if thou art to triumph in the battle to come. Past experience will avail thee naught, I fear. Alright, Zilly, once you're ready, we'll be on our way. Took a while, but we finally arrived. Ready? Memories of Titan come tumbling back. Eden's Gates. Sepulture, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Eden's Gate, Sepulture, level 80. Having successfully realigned the element of water following your triumph over Leviathan, the next candidate for restoration is Earth, in hope that the empty will soon become able to support life. As before, you draw upon your experience of Primal's fault on the source to shape the ether, this time recalling your fateful encounter with the Lord of Crag's Titan. Okay, let's go. No clue what to expect. We had to wait a while. All the other ones are fairly quick. Overran, Eden's Gate, Sepulture. Titan. Heritor of Crags, Titan. Part of the platform gonna fall away. No one in the party seems to remember this fight. It's great for me, who's never played it before. I generally follow what other people are doing, and if they don't know what they're doing... Healer. I don't know how to use Surecast or Arm's Length. Can't target those. why the other I had to res the healer, but passes. Drive around. Oh, there goes I. Well, there was no, like, I wasn't standing in the indicator. I didn't realize it would just that. So much for getting through this one without dying. Not quite sure what happened, to be honest with you. I mean, I saw the mechanic, but I get flashed like right away. I think I don't have any EMP. Okay, we have to be close to it. I get it now. I was trying to avoid that mechanic. Out of range, I can't. Range, I can't do anything. I have like no MP. Jesus. Supposed to be in his hitbox for that? This healer LB. I'd have too much for her. I'll be now. This one did not go well. I guess for that one, we'd have to be in his hitbox. I mean, I was close to him. Well, that was something. We got through it. Sure as hell wasn't pretty. Gate complete. $39. Kept done. Not to me. Didn't get the minion. Well. Oh. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. Wonder, was the Titan of your world a tough opponent too? Never stood a chance against me. Yes, if I put one foot wrong, I would have fallen to my doom. Well, having seen the way you fight, I can believe that. More importantly, you've defeated another elemental being, which means we're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. Can't wait to see how much of a difference we've made this time. For seismic. Sweet. Actually, one more quest before. We really do all this? It would appear that balance has returned to the element of Earth, and yet transformation hath affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. 'Tis passing strange indeed. Did we do something wrong? Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, 'tis plain our efforts were not in vain. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is the result of an intersection of ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty hath undergone comparable alterations. Then the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of... Rene. Next piece of the puzzle, level 80. Rene appears to have been overcome by exhaustion. It's nothing. That didn't look like nothing to me. You better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Hey, Thancred hath the right of it. 'Twould be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Rene, thou knowest not the strain thou dost place on thyself. But the elements of water and earth hath been restored. Continued exposure to the empty, stagnant ether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Pray do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first two elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyze our findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why, I thought they'd welcome the news. And indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. Nevertheless, this mission is one of surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk unless absolutely necessary. You have their best interest at heart, I'm sure, but to be perfectly honest, I'd prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. Seems to me that Rene isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our sleeping beauty would likely fare better in a more hospitable surroundings. We need to have our associates from the Crystarium organize a safe place for her to stay. You and Zilli could go on ahead and have a word with them in Mord Souk. We'll catch up with you once Urianger has finished whatever it is he needs to do. Perhaps thou, too, shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. No, not this time. She's come a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. Won't be staying in the First forever. The time will come for Rene and I to part ways and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Urianger. I see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can. To her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Rene is possessed of a natural affinity for etherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. Natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. However, like these, she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. Says the master of keeping his cards close to the chest. Anyway, Zilli, you'd better take the sky slipper with Rene. True that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you ready for the challenges that lie ahead, so go on and get some rest. Shall await news of thy safe arrival in Amarang. Like right by the gate. Can't use mounts here. Walked off the ledge. Seemed like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Well, if you say so, I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So do you want to take first shift piloting, or shall I? I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I have no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. But before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. Might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. When I first spoke to Thancred and Urianger about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. Now that we've found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. If I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. Now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. You remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person, like you or me. Obviously, she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her to find out who she is and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. To say she won't try it again when she wakes up. Keeps us from claiming the empty. It will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do? Alphanald were here. He'd talk things through with her. Even Emmett Selk had his reasons. We should at least hear her out. There's not much we can do until she's awake. Yeah. We'll come back to it. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be trying to decide her fate before we even know who she is. In the meantime, we'll have to be patient and hope that she comes around soon. Till then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see Urianje's errands. People we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper, most of the apparatus we've been using, and since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Gol, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently, he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now, the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Ah, Rene, what a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. Sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Today, I'd like you to meet Luri. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I'm here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. I will be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. Probably best not to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here. You should get some rest. Before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Next piece of the puzzle. Meanwhile, I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Rene and Zilly until we know more. Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. Oracle of Darkness. Pray it is not true. Dun dun. Very. Well, I guess that's it.